Eventually, the plan is to have the advising worksheet customized for each program at the college, but sometimes things take a little longer than expected. So, just in case, this video will show you how you can use it now, even if the template for your program hasn't been created yet. Now first, let me say that, as I see it, this worksheet can serve three main objectives. One, to help the student figure out which courses they should take to satisfy the program requirements, and that's done over here in My Courses with these drop-down menus that, forces them to pick from a limited set of options for these specific requirements. Two, to help the student plan out when they should take those courses over here in My Plan, where the options here, these menus, are populated by the courses they've already picked over in My Courses. And three, to help the advisor and the student organize this information electronically, keep track of what is discussed during all the advising sessions. So by notes, reminders to the student, and reminders to the advisor for next time the student comes in, and the checklist and deadlines to remind the student of what's coming and what they have to be planning for in the future. And having it saved electronically, allowing the advisor to pull it up and update it with every subsequent advising session, and pass it along to other advisors in case the regular advisor is not available. So, to take full advantage of the course selection functionality, the first of those three objectives, you'd really generally need a template specific to your program. However, any advisor in any discipline can still get the full benefits of the plan over here, and full benefits of the notes and record keeping, and possibly some of the course selection benefits too, even with the generic university studies or a blank template. So here's how. We're going to look at two basic scenarios, AA and AS programs, and then we'll look at associative applied science and certificate programs. So first, for pretty much any AA or AS program, the Gen Ed portion of My Courses, these up at the top, will still pretty much apply. So we can start with the basic university studies template, which is what we're looking at here. So let me zoom in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick example here. Suppose I'm advising an English student. And so if I look at the catalog for the English program, and it lists the general education courses, well, those 41 required Gen Ed hours still all fit here in these menus. So they still have to pick one of these communications courses. They still have to pick, from this list of history courses and so on. So this top part still applies and will still help the student to see what their choices are and understand what all their options are, along with the printed version of those lists over here, which will be on the second page of the printout that they'll receive when they leave the advising session. And then below those 41 hours, when we have our recommended area of emphasis courses, well, that's where, without having a specific template, we're going to have to do things the old-fashioned way, which is pretty much the way you've always done it, looking at the catalog or looking at other documents that your department has put out and helping the students see what the choices are. So, in this case, the English, we see that, they're supposed, they're supposed to take 2 additional fine arts courses, from art, music, or theater, pick 2 of those. Well, me as the advisor, I have to pay attention to the fact that they already picked some humanities fine arts courses up here, and so I would just need to use my experience to know that if they already picked art and music up here, then they got to pick something else to make all that work. And then so on, so on and so forth, going down the list. We look and see that, they're supposed to take one of these literature courses or one of these 2 other English courses, and they're supposed to pick 2 additional humanities or social science elective courses, so a sociology, psychology, philosophy, history, or one of these art history courses. So, I help the student pick them the same way I have always done, and so maybe I just type them in and we say, they want to take English 280T, which is maybe I don't know, 3-hour course, and they want to take Art 141, which is a 3-hour course, and so on. And I keep filling in whatever those recommended area of emphasis courses turn out to be. And then once that's done, I proceed just like I normally would over to my plans to help the student figure out when they should take these courses and when they should schedule them. So in this semester, and they say I'm going to take this one, and and this one and this one and so on. And next semester, what classes do I want to take? Maybe I want to take that art class. And so my plan still works. The list is still populated by the courses they picked. And so we still get the full functionality of helping them visualize their entire academic career at a glance. And then of course we still have all the notes and checklists and everything down below. Now let's look at how it would work for an AAS or a certificate program. Now it's a little bit trickier because many of those programs do not have the full generic 41 hours of gen ed courses that are required, so they wouldn't need all of this. Well, in that case, you really have two options. Suppose your program doesn't require math. You go down here and you just hit the delete key and delete that math. If you're happy with some blank spots, you can leave some blank slots in there for the parts of the original gen ed courses that don't apply. Or, if you would like, your other option is to go with the blank template. And the blank template here has nothing, no menus that populate this, and so it's all you type in whatever you want. So if I'm, suppose we're doing a PTA student, a physical therapist assistant. Well, looking back at the University Studies worksheet, most of these guys don't apply anymore. They only need to take one English, they don't need communications, they don't need the literature or the history or the math and so on. So we'd have a lot of things to delete. So we could just go with the blank one here. So let me zoom in. And of course this student gets hardly any choices throughout this program anyway, so we just type them all in. Say Biology 2010 as a 4-hour course, and then they take Biology 2020, which is a 4-hour course, and they need to take English 1010, which is a 3-hour course, and so on down the list, and we just type everything in. And looking at the catalog, I'm not a professional PTA advisor, but looking at the catalog, it seems to me that the only thing they really have any choice in is they get to pick their Humanities or Fine Arts course. Okay, well, the list is still here on the back side of this page that they can look at and say, oh, here's all the Humanities Fine Arts courses. Which one of those do you want to take? But everything else is pretty much dictated for them. So, me as the advisor, I could just type everything in, and then I could save my own template for that. So it actually wouldn't be that big of a deal to make that template. For some of the other programs, some of the other AAS programs, situations where you have a list of a whole bunch of courses, and you say you need to pick 3 courses from this list of 5 or something like that. That can be a little trickier to program. That template's coming, but it may be a little harder for you to figure that kind of stuff out on your own. But you can certainly just figuring them out on paper and then type them in here, and that'll get the job done. And again, once we have that list and the student sees, okay, these are all the courses I have to take, then we can go over here and plan them, and then we can look at our notes and all of that. So we still get full functionality of the plan, we still get full functionality of the notes and the record keeping, and even though the worksheet isn't going to help us make these choices for this this particular program, since the template wasn't made, we still can list things and we can still get the other functions. So hopefully once all those templates are made, then you'll be able to run these things at full capacity. But until then, I would still encourage people to go ahead and use this, because I've used this with many students all of my students over the past several months, and the thing they like the best is that plan, being able to visualize things. So a lot of students find that very helpful, and I think you'll find similar results with your advisees.